Think about the last time you stepped on a Lego brick. Painful, right? But that tiny piece of plastic is also one of the most recognizable toys in the world. For generations, Lego bricks have sparked imagination, creativity, and sometimes a little chaos on living room floors. With just a few colorful blocks, people can build castles, spaceships, entire cities, or anything their imagination can dream up. But where did Lego actually come from? Who invented it? And how did a small family workshop grow into one of the most famous toy brands in the world? The story behind Lego is filled with creativity, risk, and innovation. So today, let's snap the pieces together and explore the fascinating history of Lego, right here on History of Simple Things. The story begins in Billund, Denmark during the early 1930s. A carpenter named Ole Kirk Christensen was trying to make a living during the Great Depression. Like many craftsmen, he built practical items like houses, ladders, and furniture. But when construction work slowed down, he needed another source of income. So he began making wooden toys in his workshop. Simple items like ducks, cars, and pull toys for children. Ole Kirk believed deeply in quality. His motto was, "Only the best is good enough." Even during difficult times, he made sure every toy was well crafted and durable. That mindset would later define the Lego brand. In 1934, he gave his company a name by combining the Danish words "leg godt," meaning play well. From that came the name Lego, a simple phrase that would one day be known worldwide. For years, Lego toys were made of wood, but after World War II, plastic began to reshape manufacturing. It was cheaper and more flexible, opening new possibilities for toy design. In 1947, Ole Kirk and his son Godfred made a bold move. They invested in a plastic injection molding machine, a risky and expensive decision for a small company. Soon they began producing small plastic bricks that could connect with each other. These early bricks were inspired by a British design called Kittycraft self-locking building bricks. In 1949, Lego released its own version called automatic binding bricks. They look similar to modern Lego pieces, but didn't hold together very well. At first, they weren't popular. Many people still preferred wooden toys and plastic was unfamiliar. But the Lego team believed in the idea. They just needed to improve it. That improvement came in 1958. Godfred Christensen, now leading the company, helped redesign the brick by adding small tubes inside. This allowed the studs on top to grip firmly, creating a strong but flexible connection. This design became the modern Lego brick. It could snap together securely and still be taken apart easily. Even better, every brick was made to fit perfectly with others, no matter when it was produced. This became known as the Lego system of play, allowing endless combinations and creativity. A child could build, rebuild, and imagine without limits. Sadly, Ole Kirk passed away the same year the new brick was patented, but his vision lived on through the company he built. In the 1960s, Lego expanded beyond Denmark, opening factories and selling products across Europe and North America. In 1968, the first LEGOLAND theme park opened in Billund. It featured massive models made from millions of bricks, drawing visitors from around the world. Around the same time, Lego introduced sets like trains, houses, and vehicles, allowing kids to build entire miniature worlds. Then, in 1978, Lego introduced one of its most iconic features, the minifigure. Before this, LEGO figures were simple and expressionless, but the new minifigures had movable parts and smiling faces. Suddenly, children could create stories, not just structures. Knights, astronauts, pirates, and police officers became part of the LEGO universe, turning playtime into storytelling. Despite its success, LEGO struggled in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Video games and digital entertainment were becoming more popular, and the company began losing money. It had expanded too quickly and created too many complex products. To recover, LEGO refocused on its core idea: simple, creative building. At the same time, it embraced partnerships with popular franchises. Sets based on Star Wars, Harry Potter, and Marvel helped introduce LEGO to a new generation. LEGO also entered the digital space. Video games allowed players to explore LEGO worlds on screen, and in 2014, the LEGO Movie became a major success, proving the brand could tell stories beyond toys. The company also developed educational tools like LEGO Mindstorms, combining building with robotics and programming. What started as a simple toy had become a platform for learning and innovation. Today, LEGO is more than just a toy company. It's a global symbol of creativity. Children use it to build and imagine, while adults create detailed models, sculptures, and even working machines. Many adult fans proudly call themselves AFOLs, adult fans of LEGO. Some even turn their passion into careers, designing displays for museums and exhibitions. What makes LEGO special is its simplicity. A single brick may seem small, but together they can become anything. The possibilities are endless. So what is the history of LEGO? It's the story of a carpenter who believed in quality. It's the story of taking risks and embracing change. And it's the story of a small brick that unlocked creativity for generations. From wooden toys in a small workshop to creations seen around the world, LEGO proves that simple ideas can grow into something extraordinary. Because in the end, LEGO isn't just about bricks, it's about imagination, curiosity, and the joy of building something entirely your own. And that's the story of the history of LEGO. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.